Maria of Bytom, Kingdom of Hungary, the 15th of December 1317, was a Polish princess member of the House of Piast in the Bytom branch and by marriage Queen of Hungary. She was the third child and only daughter of Duke Casimir of Bytom by his wife Helena, whose origins are unknown, although the later historiography tends to recognize her as a daughter of Lev I of Galicia, from the Rurikid dynasty. Maria was the first to second wife of Charles I Robert of Anjou, King of Hungary. This union was childless, but older literature claimed that they had two daughters. Little is known about the activities of Mary as Queen of Hungary. Her marriage to Charles I Robert consolidated the Polish-Hungarian agreement directed against the Kingdom of Bohemia, and also helped to establish a close Polish-Hungarian relations in the 14th century, reflected in the ecclesiastical career in Hungary of Maria's brothers Boleslaw and Mieszko, and the later third marriage of Charles I Robert with Elizabeth of Kujawia. Life, birth. The exact date of birth of Maria is unknown. In 1306, when she was married to Charles Robert, contemporary canon law established that the minimal age for marriage must be at least 12 years old. Thus, she was born in 1294 at the latest. She was the first member of the Silesian branch of the Piast dynasty named Maria. Reasons for this suggestion of name are also unknown. Among the children of Casimir of Bytom, she was usually placed in the sixth and last place, but she could even be born as the third child. In turn, marriage. Information about the wedding of Maria and Charles I Robert of Hungary was shown in the Chronicle of Jan de Lugos, who reported two different dates for this event, 1306 and 1310. The first date is generally accepted by the majority of historians as proof. The first known document who called Maria Queen of Hungary was dated the 23rd of June 1306. In addition, the official Hungarian documents from 1306 explicitly named her as queen. Finally, it's anticipated that the lone 140 pieces of fine silver dragged around 1305 by Casimir of Bytom were used to cover the costs of the wedding of Maria and Charles I Robert. In both reports about the wedding, de Lugos mentions the beauty of Maria, stating that the Silesian Piast princess was a very pretty girl, and the girl famous for her extraordinary beauty. The marriage was probably on the initiative of Vladislav I the Elbow High, and the role of matchmaker was played by her brother Boleslaw, then Scholastic of Krakow and Duke of Toszek. The wedding ceremony took place probably in Bytom, the homeland of the bride. After arriving to Hungary and in accordance with the almost century-old custom, Maria was crowned Queen of Hungary by Benedict II, Bishop of Veszprém in sex Ferevar. This union was the external expression of the approximation between the Polish and Hungarian kingdoms, connected to the transition of the House of Anjou politics in a close political relations with Poland. In addition, the Duchy of Bytom, now closely associated to the anti-Czech party, could renegated from his feudal relationship with the Kingdom of Bohemia. Charles I Robert also strengthened his position as competitor for the Hungarian throne against Otto III of Bavaria thanks to his marriage, because his wife was closely related to the House of Piast. Maria's mother Helena was granddaughter of King Bela IV of Hungary through her mother. The position of Maria as Queen of Hungary also paved the way for the subsequent career in the Hungarian Church of his brothers Boleslaw and Mieszko. Little is known about the role of Maria in the Hungarian royal court. There are only 2 documents issued by it. The first, from 1312, has survived until today together with the stamp. The content of the second, from the 9th of April 1313, is known as the confirmation of the chapter in Sex-Ferevar. The obverse of the seal's image of Maria showed the Queen sitting on a throne with floral envelope and the letter M and A in both sides, while positioned on the back of the customary double cross and the letters Anjou and A between her shoulders. The letters on both sides of the seal consists of the name of the Queen. Maria died on the 15th of December 1317 in Temesvar and was buried in the royal vault of Sex-Ferevar in the Basilica of the Virgin Mary, according to the reports of Jan Długosz. The Polish chronicler confirms this facts with the Hungarian sources, but they provide 3 different dates of Maria's death: 1315, 1316 of 1317. The third date is now accepted as the definitive one thanks to a document issued by Charles I Robert dated the 24th of February 1317, in which Maria is still mentioned as a living person. The resulting differences about the date in documents in charters could be explained as a mistake of the writer, who didn't place correctly the last number. Rather than MCCCXVII, he wrote MCCCXV and MCCCXVI. The picture of her funeral placed at the head of this article was a miniature of the Chronicon Pictum, who was currently preserved in the National Library in Budapest. After the death of Maria, Charles I Robert married in 1318 with Beatrice of Luxembourg, who died the following year in childbirth, and in 1320 with Elizabeth of Kujavia, who finally bore him the needed male heirs of the dynasty. Issue: the union between Maria and Charles I Robert was childless, probably because of the Queen's infertility. Older literature attributed to this union 2 daughters. Catherine, married in 1338 to Duke Henry II of Widnica, their only child. Anne of Widnica was later Holy Roman Empress by her marriage with Charles IV of Luxembourg. Elizabeth married a Boleslaw of Opole. The existence of these 2 daughters as offspring of Maria of Bytom, supported by a group of Polish and foreign historians, headed by the genealogist Włodzimierz Dworzańczyk, was recently challenged and rejected by historians. During Maria's lifetime, her husband had an illegitimate son, Koloman, born by the end of 1317 or early in 1318. The mother was a certain Guz Csak, a daughter of George Csak. This son followed a church career, and was in Bishop of Győr from 1337 to 1375.